Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. And we are going to discuss one of the very wonderful topics that I would like to bring on to every member of this community. And I believe it's about time for us to really focus on what's important, especially for ourselves and for our families. I have invited with us today our partner. Everybody, we have a partner which is Axalife. You haven't seen her beautiful face yet, ever
Oh,
since. So I'm proud to introduce to you guys Miss Jen Havillonar, and she's helping us out, especially for those who are attending the training. She's my go-to person for the accident insurance. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I please present to you Miss Jen Havillonar. Am I correct?
hello.
Havillonar, right?
Yes, a billionaire.
I'm
Parang
just
billionaire, ganyan. Parang,
just to calling you Mamitag because
that's
you're
why ano, maiden name. Yes.
yes. So anyways, today we're going to discuss very important it's a very important topic because I believe Jen would share with us. We're not selling you insurance, guys. That's one thing. We don't want you to think we're here to sell insurance to you guys, because when you say AXA Life, everybody would be saying, "Well, that's insurance." We should have the good mindset. We should change that mindset that we really have to listen to people who are knowledgeable, more they know better than us. I don't know anything about insurance. I have an idea. But then again, when Jen explained to me how wonderful it is, the benefit that you really are going to get, it really struck me. So now we just want to educate you guys. We are here to give you a bird's eye view of what we should be thinking in terms of preparing for our future, for yourself, not only for your family, especially for yourself, right, Jen?
Yes, definitely. Yun. So when it comes to what you already know and what maybe you can learn more, that's what we have here in store for you, definitely. So I hope everyone will be able to learn something or take away something that might be just a reminder of what you already knew before, and some of the things that might be like fear that you have, myths that's there, or something that also sparks your curiosity, or something that you would like to know more, maybe.
To enlighten. We're
Yes,
here
yes.
to enlighten you because you're right. There are a lot of myths, When you talk about insurance, they fear away. And I'm part of that. I would not lie, because there's a mindset that I don't know why, no? But in the States, it's a must that all citizens should have an insurance. But here in the Philippines, it's as if we are not responsible for ourselves, but we keep thinking about the future, but then again, we're not really preparing for it. So there will be questions that I'll be asking Jen, and if you have any comments that you would like to share with us or insights, please send your comments below, and we will be reading that, or I'll be glad to answer that if I can during the time that I'm reviewing the comments also. So Jen, I'll ask you some questions, and it's really nice to hear these from someone who is more knowledgeable. They're attending a lot of training about this, so I would say she's the right person that I have to ask these questions. Okay, so the first question we have here: what mistakes do you see from Filipinos? This is very generic. What mistakes do you see from Filipinos in terms of handling or managing their finances?
Well, it's more on a general, hindi naman lahat, of course. This is more of what are the common things that we see within a family, or because of also how we were with our culture, traditions. Maybe it comes with that also. And it also comes with our education, since we are in elementary, high school, maybe in college. But what's good about this right now, speaking of that, I just want to connect with regards to the education that we have. I'm very, very proud that the Philippines are definitely trying to step up their game when it comes to teaching, not really insurance as it is, teaching our children how to save. There are a lot of programs that they're doing in school, like they have their savings programs that they do with their with the elementary, even as young as kindergarten. They teach them how to like save 1 peso, maybe just for them to have that habit and discipline. And when it comes to our Filipino culture, normally, if we are Filipino, or we've seen this in the past and also still going on right now, we want to show off sometimes. There are times that we want to have the latest gadget, the latest of everything, be on trend, yung dapat lagi nasa uso, something
Yeah.
like that, which is maybe who to blame to this, or where it came from, we don't know. It's just that we might have adopted that, and that it was not taught to us that we have to be more thrifty when we are buying stuff. It's just that we wanna be on trend always and just splurge, not really save like what we should be doing every time. So yun lang naman
I
when it
think,
comes to Filipino handling finances.
yeah, I think I can also add to that is the prioritization, no? That's one
Yes.
thing. We really do not identify sometimes what are the priorities that we need. You're correct.
Yeah.
We follow
Yeah.
through the trend, no? But if you're going to think of something like savings or your finances, sometimes that's the next in line. You don't put that in as a priority. But then again,
Yeah.
that's why we're having this discussion, because we just want people to understand and realize at the end of the day, if you are in a badly need of financial support or whatsoever, it will always be you who will always find a way of how can I get the money, I need this and I need that. So it's all
Yeah.
like the saying goes, nasa huli ang pagsisisi. So let's not have that kind of attitude, right? So now
We know
you
that families help each other every time,
exactly.
which is good also. It's just that sometimes we become more dependent on
Yes.
others.
It's within our culture, I think, and
Yeah.
this can change. This can change if you're just going to prioritize things that are really needed. So Jen here will give us some tips or advices on how to manage our finances. So Jen, can you start with the first one that you're going to share?
Yes, yes. I'd just like to share that there are really a lot of ways that you could start with managing your finances. When you say finances, this is how you use your money, or start first, of course, on you should know how much you're really earning, because you should be spending only within that earning capacity. So if we know how much we're earning, we should also know how much we're spending. Sometimes the problem or the root cause is we know how much we're earning, but we don't know how much we're spending, or even where are we spending this. If we know, that's where also debt comes in, kasi nga if we really spend a lot not knowing where we're spending on, sabi natin it's always kulang, but we don't know that am I really spending on what I just need, or I'm spending on my wants, or even splurge, even though we don't have really the capacity of within
Spending.
the earning, within what we earned alone. And that's why there are a lot of methods. As I have mentioned, also I'm sharing this not only to you guys, I'm also sharing this to my family, to my friends, that as simple as an envelope method, we call it envelope, we just have to separate all the ones that we need to spend on priorities, as you mentioned, Tiny, no?
Yes.
Like we know what we're spending every month. Like what are the ones that we really know? Like yung kuryente, our electricity, our water bill. Hindi naman yata one time na, next month wala akong water bill. No.
Correct.
Tuloy-tuloy yan eh. As long as we use it, we'll be able to. Siguro bababa, tataas. But then, we have to really put that.
You cannot blame it na, why do I have to pay for this?
Yes. Kasi we know for a fact that it will be coming. Next month, darating at darating. May kuryente ko, meron akong tubig, meron akong internet, and all those bills. All you need to do is just maybe create an envelope that is assigned to that. And then, what's gonna happen is, if you know, I will have pala extra, where does it go? To food. Yan nga, sa food. So you have to have a separate envelope for the food. If that is the only one allocated for that, you would know that I'm only going to spend it for food or for transportation. Of course, like yung mga pamasahe natin, we know how much we spend, and we know how to not spend more than what we earn, kasi alam natin it's already allocated, so that you don't have to borrow money, kasi debt is the number one thing that will really be heavy on everything kasi you cannot control a money that you don't have. So
Yes.
yun, as simple as that. I don't want to give more details about envelope method because it's very easy. You can look it up even in YouTube.
And
And I know mommies even do it, I think, without even
exactly,
knowing
yeah.
the method.
And you know what? When you mentioned about the debt free, I just want to share this with everyone. I've mentioned this to you before. I had a credit card
Mhm,
debt that I was able to leave for
mhm.
years. But then
Okay.
now I'm happy to say that I talked to the people who I owed to and paid for it. I feel very relieved because it will not go away. Yes, we know
Mm-mm.
you're not going to be jailed about it, or you're not going to prison about it. But then again, the feeling of someone is always after you. The feeling that
Yeah.
you know that you owe them, but you're not paying. I feel like when I paid it already, I said, why did it take so long? Why did I have to wait for this? So yeah,
Yes, yes.
all I can say is talk to them. There's a way. You just have to let them know what your situation is, and be ready to tell the story, and be honest with them. Yes, I'm honest with them, and I told them I cannot pay that much, and so we
Yeah.
came into a very good program that they offered me, and something that is very light to me. You know why I did that? Because I really want to have something in the future that when I say, Jen, I took up your insurance because I want to be prepared and be ready when I grow older. You will never,
Mm-mm.
we will never know. We can't rely on our kids to say they will buy our
Mm-mm. Ah,
medicines,
yes,
they
of
will bring it
course.
to the hospital. We should be the one
Yes,
responsible for that, and that's why
I
we
agree.
are bringing this topic to all of you to give yourself an idea why is it important to really prepare for our future. And it's not about just insurance,
Yes,
it's what you want to, how you want to live, again,
yes.
there's a part here that I really love. Jen would really discuss to you. The
Mm-mm.
number two that we have here is when we talk about life insurance, many are really skeptical about it.
Mm-mm.
So Jen, how do you set their minds to understand the importance of it, and how is it important for everyone, parents, kids, to have an insurance?
Yes, so it's normal. The feeling of what do you call this? Having a fear of anything that you don't know about is definitely normal. I think
Yes.
if you're new in a city, you're new in a new place, so it's fear comes in, and that's okay. And how to avoid this fear, how to overcome the fear, is to know more. And sometimes that's the challenge for us for in this industry for financial services or insurance or whatnot. It's going to be the fear that kasi hindi natin alam or we don't have the full extent or knowledge to scrutinize it. We don't even give a chance to these people to explain how it works, anything like that.
Yes.
Or we are just focused on, kasi sometimes if we hear something like a bad news, yun na lang yun that sticks in your mind. But we have heard a lot of good news. And I just want to share also why
Sure.
I came to this industry. So my dad is an OFW, and he was working at a petroleum company, Aramco. This is an international petroleum company, and he was really getting good pay. But then when he
Retired.
retired at the age of 67, he would have to change his lifestyle. Why? Because he will not be earning the same amount. Of course, OFW people will definitely get more or higher pay because they're abroad compared when you're working here. But then the sad thing is he relied only on his SSS pay, which is good then, buti na lang meron. So the moral of the story is, I'll just cut it short,
Sure.
that he wasn't able to pay or set aside a little bit more than what he was setting aside for SSS. So from example 100,000 salary per month, his SSS now is just 10,900. So he actually paid for the highest amount that he can pay every month. So he was even paying more than 60 years old. We didn't know that sa SSS pala you don't have to pay more. I-refund lang yung sobra. It will not
Mm-hmm.
like grow bigger, parang ganyan. So, he was refunded. So, he has to really change his lifestyle. Even my mom has to change her lifestyle because they don't have the same income anymore. Even his car, they sold his car because they thought it's just added expense. So it's just sad that you have to do that. But then again, if you rewind, if only there was something that he was able to do, like prepare for it, even just save, hindi naman kailangan to buy insurance or anything.
Yes.
Save more than spend all his salary every month. It would have been malaki na if you
Yes.
actually calculate that, even though it's just in the bank or anywhere. It's just that we can prepare for that.
Yes,
And we don't have to change for that lifestyle. It's just that the sad truth. So, removing that fear, if only, for me, that removed my fear of insurance na, if only he was able to get an insurance that he could enjoy at the age of maybe 65, he didn't have to even retire at the age of 67. If he has already accumulated funds at the age of 65, he will be able to retire gladfully, and he would not have to work more than that. It's just that it could be done. And
it could have been done. It could have been, a thing that they prioritized. Although he prioritized it, it's just that he doesn't have the right information.
Yes, if only somebody educated him maybe before. Yun lang. So, having the fear, yun lang. My answer to that question is no more. Be more critical.
Especially
Scrutinize.
nowadays, make Google your best friend. Know everything via Google. Search for it. Why is it important to have an insurance? Do I need to have an insurance? Why am I not having an insurance? Something like that. Because if you're not going to help yourself, nobody is going to help you when you're at that age and when you are in that situation. We can rely on our families, yes. But this is something that you've worked all your life. I came to that realization, Jen, when we were talking. The last time we were talking was in your office in AXA. I came to realize, how am I working so much, and then when I reach the age that I want to retire already, am I going to be happy with what I'm going to receive? Isn't it I asked you, Jen, I think I want to stop my SSS and really focus on this one, because when I computed it, my goodness, I'm not even going to be happy with what I'm going to receive as my pension.
Diba? Yeah, you want to live at the age of 65 or whatever you want to spend or live the same lifestyle. And yun nga, the
you don't
normal,
want your budget to be for the maintenance only alone. I mean, that's not the life we all want. Yeah, we want to have a comfortable living. When you get sick, you're not afraid what hospital are you going to be brought in. If you get sick, your kids will not be thinking, where are we going to get the hospital fees for mom or dad. As parents, that should be the number one priority we should have for ourselves, and not bother our kids, because they will have their own lives eventually. And that's one thing, exactly. That's one thing we should teach them as they also embark into having families.
Yes. And also, I want to add, Tiny, we always think na, pag namatay na ako, saka lang, no.
Yes, that's wrong.
Yeah, and it's innovating. Insurance is innovating. You know what? There was no MaxiCare before. There was no, what do you call that? Ano ba ang mga MaxiCare? HMOs, yes. There were no HMOs before, but now even the senior citizens, it's innovating. The products are innovating. It's not as old as like before that you have to die before you. Yeah, and ganyan. So, and you have options, which is you might not get from AXA. If you see something better, well, then that's good. You just scrutinize what you have to get, so that at the end of the day, if you understood, read the fine print. I always say to my clients, always read the fine print. Para sa huli, walang sisihan. It's your decision. When you sign that contract, sign anything. Kahit ano naman, I think, you buy anything, you really have to know. Para pag inuwi mo siya, happy ka. Pagdating mo sa bahay, happy ka pa rin na you still have it. Because you know, you had everything.
Yeah, I like what you said, Jen, because people may be thinking, ang mahal ng AXA. We know that. It comes with the brand. It comes with what they offer. That's true. You can really learn and find out things depending on your budget. Of course, it's just something that we're opening your eyes. Allocate something for that, because if you're not going to do some actions right now, eventually when the time comes that you need it the most, you don't know where to go. And we don't want that, we are not living in that kind of fear. If your fear is ayoko niyan kasi malaki babayaran ko, come on guys, the fear when you're in that situation is more fearful because you don't exactly know where to go, right? So let's not create that fear in the future, and be happy because eventually, God willing, you are living a comfortable life. You know that you've prepared for it. Somehow we will go there. We will all go there. It's just that you want it. You're comfortable with it, that you're not going to bother your family members, your friends, your children. So just allocate something for you, yourself, and you. You yourself and you. Not always the extension of my kid's future. Yes, that's part of it. But you have to focus on yourself alone. So for yourself too. You have the me time. This should be the me time.
Yes. Yun lang. Isa lang yun retirement pa lang tayo.
Exactly, retirement. Marami ng concerned na stories behind. But if you're not going to listen to this and let your fear eat you until now, no, I cannot do this, because if you're not going to do some actions, eventually you will get to realize, I've heard this before, I should have done something. There's always regrets, no? There's always regrets.
Yes.
Okay, moving forward. Number 3, Jen, how do you help people understand the value of savings, and why should we be insured? Although this is related to the second question. And then the last part is how can we compare these to SSS, PhilHealth, or Pag-ibig?
Yeah, so yun naman, we're not undermining definitely SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. These are the cheapest. I highly advise if you can have like an insurance, SSS, Pag-ibig, especially going back to virtual assistants. We know that you don't have your company paying that for you and all, but you can still have those. Why? Because it's the cheapest insurance that you can get. Yun lang, if you pay PhilHealth, you pay the 100 pesos per month. I think it's higher now, I'm not sure. But for PhilHealth, once you don't use it, it goes to PhilHealth. You don't have to like, can I get a refund because I did not use it? So, which is something
you don't get a reward.
You only use it once you need it. And there are also, of course, meron sila mga qualifications, like you have to be like confined within 3 days for a particular illness, something like that. And I think that goes also with insurance. For insurance naman, it adds on. It's a plus for PhilHealth because there are limitations for PhilHealth. And also with us, with insurances, there are limitations. It's just that what's good about this is you get higher coverage when you get for insurance. Just for an example, for a critical illness that you get, stroke, you can still use your PhilHealth there, of course. Pag na hospital and confinement, medicines, and also doctor, what do you call that?
Doctor's fee.
Doctor fees, yes, their professional fees, something like that. All of those laboratories but it's not enough. That's why HMO came in, because HMO can also help you with that. But all these products, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, have their own purpose, as we say. Ganun din naman with insurance and all. It's an added plus. Why? Because it's not an answer to everything.
Yes.
You buy this because it's something designed for something that you want. There's a purpose. So the first question that you should have in mind is, why am I going to get this?
Yes.
Example, for savings, when it comes to savings and investment, you have to have saving first before you invest. Kasi if you just invest and you don't have like enough wala namang talo sa insurance and investment eh. The problem there is hindi matuloy-tuloy. That's the reason why hindi siya natatapos and you feel like lugi kayo just in case. But then again, if we go ahead and see kung kunwari may nangyari naman sa'yo without even paying the whole amount, you get naman like a sum amount that you get. Sabi nila, is it fair? Yes, of course. It's even more than fair.
Yes.
So, walang talo. Sa PhilHealth, pag hindi mo ginamit, wala kang talo. Sa SSS, if you don't use it, wala kang talo because at the end of the day, there will be like pension plans. It doesn't go away, right? Pag-ibig naman is something more on like you can have like
It's
housing.
only a housing, for housing, more on housing talaga.
But if you retire, I think you get something. And I like Pag-ibig too, ha? If you're thinking about investment na ayaw talaga na insurance, I tell my clients, you know what, there's Pag-ibig too. You like can get 7% na yata ngayon per year, per annum with the amount that you put in. And the minimum is only 500 pesos. So this is the cheapest insurance that you have. And
See?
if you can get this together with what you have, like additional insurance, well, then again, you're better off than everyone else, I think, who has only those.
Yes. I think to summarize what you've said, you should have your long-term and short-term goals. The short-term goals are the HMO because this one you can only pay or you can use this as immediate as you can, right? And the PhilHealth. But for long-term, this is what are you planning for your future, God willing? Like for example, if you retire, you're not going to work anymore. So of course you have time for your family now. Your apos, you can bring them to the mall. You have money in your pocket that you don't have to make to look mukhang kawawa or you have to beg for your kids. Can you please give me something for me to treat my apo in this and that? Again, you can create a future for you that you don't have to look very miserable. And this is what President Duterte is even saying, right? Who will give you money when you get older? Your anak? Don't bother them. What he's trying to say is prepare yourself for this. Yes, we don't know what the future will bring. You don't know if tomorrow we still live. But then again, if you've acted something on today, like Jen said, your insurance already cover you. If you paid the whole amount today, you're covered for whatever what's going to happen. That's actually the benefit that we all can get if we just know what is it all about. If we don't know, then we will say sayang. You will just regret, right? You heard me said that because I thought all the while, and my SSS is like this. Okay, my computation is I want to have 20,000 in the Now I'm realizing that.
Yun nga, the question for everyone is, and it's my challenge to everyone, do you really know what you're getting out of SSS? Binabawas yan without you knowing.
Exactly.
Do you really know what are your coverages? Did you know that even you're not already employed and you get sick, you still get, if you continuously pay, you still get like money. If you get sick, just present your medical certificate or doctor, and you will give like a daily salary, not naman equal or it's like a percentage of your daily salary to what you have based on the previous what they call these contributions that
the premium that you're paying for.
Like I thought my mom won't be able to take advantage of that, but I said I asked there at SSS, is she gonna get this benefit? Of course, she's still an SSS member.
SSS is for employees, no? Just to clarify. These are employees.
But you can still,
what do you call that? Private employees who works in the private companies, no? But for us, like VAs, I also pay for my premium because I want to receive something when I get older, God willing. But then again, it's not going to be enough. That's why I'm talking to Jen, because Jen helped me understand the difference. So when I heard that, okay, Jen, am I going to pass the screening for the insurance? Because if I want to have this, I must be able to have a good health, right? And now I'm changing my lifestyle because I want to be able to achieve that. Correct?
Yes, and for everyone to know, we also decline. We also decline applications for insurances.
Yes.
And once you are detected with very serious diseases or even obesity nowadays, sorry, I hope I'm not offending anyone, but if you are overweight and you don't pass the BMI, there you have to undergo a series of tests before you go ahead and
Exactly.
be approved of an insurance.
And
So
I'm doing my
it's
homework, Jen.
yes, yes. So there. So again, the challenge is, do you really know what you're getting out of this? Did you try to read also what you get out? Kasi binabayaran nyo, you should know you're
Yes,
getting.
yes. And if you have the capacity to do so, why not, right? All you have to
Mm-mm.
do is understand what are you going to pay for, which is correct. You're not going to spend for something that you do not know. Come on, guys,
Yeah.
let's be honest. There are a lot of people here who are getting scammed because they want to get rich easier or
Oh
quickly.
my.
But then
Yeah.
again, at the end of the day, you can't even get a benefit from your money. This one is something that there's an assurance for you that once
Mm-mm.
you reach the right year where you ended or completed your payment, or what, I don't know what's called, it's premium, right? At least
Yes.
you generate something out of it, which is an
Mm-mm.
addition to your SSS pension. If you're going to do
Yes.
all of these things, it's not going to complicate things. But at the end of the day, when you feel like you're at that age, you would say, I did the right decision, because everybody wants to live a comfortable life. And let's start now. We cannot start when we are 60, because you're not going to be insured anymore, right? So
Yes,
the time to
when
start
you
is
start
now.
late, yeah, if you start late, kasi if you ask me if you wanted like there was this millennial kasi who asked me, Miss Jen, I want to retire at the age of 35, and he's only like 20 years old, a fresh graduate. It's like a challenge that he asked me. Yes, you can retire at the age of 35 or 30 even, as long as the amount of premium that you're putting is equivalent to the amount that you want to get. So the question is, how much is your retirement goal? So I
Yeah.
want to retire maybe in millions. Okay, let's talk about millions. So let's break it down into pieces. If you want to retire with $1 million in your pocket or in your bank, how much time do you need to put in
Save
your
up for
money
it.
and let your money to grow? Wait for your money to grow, because let's be realistic. SSS, you have to pay for it for 10 years. 10 years, right?
No, until you're
10
60, until
years.
you retire. If you
Yes,
want
or
for the
at a minimum
pension,
of 10 years. I think if you retire at 60 but you don't have the 10 years yet,
yes, yes, you have to
paid,
pay for
yes,
that still
you still
to
continue to
cover.
pay
Yeah.
so there. Yes, for you to be able to have like a pension. So, it really depends what's your goal. Ano ba yung goal nyo to achieve, so that you could uh, go back and then plan for it, and then himay-himayin how much you really want to save up for that and make it growth for you to achieve your goal.
If you're going back, Jen, 80s, during the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
year where we were growing up, this kind
Mm-hmm.
of information is not really freely available. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, in this time and age, everything is free for you to learn. I mean, just Google
Yes.
it. What is an insurance? What type of
Mm-hmm.
insurance should I get? What insurance can I trust? These are the things that
Yeah.
you have to go, and it's a keyword for you. So
Mm-hmm.
all we're saying here is no one should be left behind and not understand what an
Yes.
insurance is all about. If you
Yes.
are not going to do your homework now, a lot of people would be investing in land, building, or houses, but
Yeah.
forgetting the fact that you have to invest for your own self, for your body.
Yeah.
We get older. You're not
Mm-hmm.
forever young. You also
Yeah.
have to you have to also to make sure that you are capable to really spend something for whatever you need in that time. So now is the
Yes.
right time for us to really act like what Jen said. It's not because even if you have the money, if you're not insurable anymore, they won't accept
Yes.
you.
It will be declined.
Yeah, not
Yes.
only in AXA but in all insurance companies.
All everything is just the same
Yes,
underwriting principles with every insurance company.
exactly. So if you're thinking that you have all the money now, then you don't know how much money you would still have 10, 20, 30 years from now. So
Yes. Yes.
invest wisely. If you're investing in some of the earthly materials, you also invest in yourself for this, because
Yes.
again, you wouldn't know what will happen to us. Tomorrow is the nearest future, so let us
Mm.
always be um, be ready for whatever is going to happen, especially you know that a lot of sickness is coming around. If
Yeah.
you're not prepared for this, who would be ever who would prepare for you? Your kids? I don't think so. So let us
Of
not
course.
burden our family
Yes.
members for that. The word is we don't want them to be the burden for it. You know why? Because a lot of people think, especially for parents now, not knowledgeable of this,
Mm-hmm.
my kids owe me, so when I get older they should take care of me. That's the mindset that we have
The
acquired
yeah,
over the
sometimes.
years, which
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to change. As
Mm-hmm.
parents, it is our responsibility. It's in the Bible. We save up for our kids, not our kids to save up for us. So I go with that values in what's written in the Bible, because we know better than they are. So
Yeah.
again, this is not for us to sell you an insurance, guys. It's
Mm-hmm.
us here educating everyone the value of what we're missing. No, we're missing a lot of
Yeah.
things, and we're not even looking into the what's important. So Jen, before we end our conversation, how can they reach you? What is the best advice you want to tell them so that they can reach out to you? And you can ask Jen. You don't have to ask Jen how much is my. Ask her first. Is this for me? Is it
Yes.
something that I can afford to? How can you help me, Jen? That's the question you should be asking, not how much is this, because we know for a fact you'll pay for something. But then, be ready first with the answers that you're going to get also from Jen. Please go ahead, Jen, and invite everyone where to call you, how you can be of help.
Yeah, so for everyone here, it's like what me and Tiny has been doing passionately, which is educating people. Before we did this, we really had our goal is to really more on elevating the life of Filipinos. And also, if you want to elevate something, you wanted to be knowledgeable first on what you need to do. So if with everything that we discussed, what I want you to take away or value here with what we discussed is that just imagining yourself 3 years, 10 years from now, or when you retire, I want you to feel not fear. I want you to feel imagining yourself retiring in a better place, like maybe in the beach, something like that, because you were able to save up for it, because you were able to discipline yourself to at least save like 10% maybe or 20% of your salary, because it's for you. You're paying yourself, your future self, with what you saved up. Or even if you have babies, like yung mga newly mothers, or those who have little children right now, imagine yourself not having a second job because your son or your child is going to college a year from now. Imagine yourself being free from that financial burden that you have to do more or uutang because they're going to college because you weren't able to save up for it maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago ahead. What else? Imagine yourself that if you get sick, you don't have to be in a ward, something like that, because you have an HMO that would give you a private room. Isn't it? No? Parang feeling mo mas maggagaling ka kagad, or you'll get the best. You have the best doctor because you have an insurance that you could take out na binabayaran nyo, you were able to prepare for, so that if there's a critical illness, you don't have to settle for a non-professional, maybe something like that. Imagine yourself on those situations, and I think if you do value those, it will be easier for you to be open enough, and everything will be easy. Life will be easier. That's our main purpose. If you want a takeaway from this is the one. And if you think this is something that you want, you can always reach out to me. I'm a part of our group, Philippine Home-based Virtual Assistants. And I think if your company won't be able to pay for all of this, you could always have a system. Everything is in YouTube. We can give you more because we have attended seminars, workshops. We even pay for it as high as 25,000 to learn about financial planning and all. We invest in ourselves in our learning for us to be able to become coaches, wealth coaches, for everyone or for our clients. So there, I think that is it. My number is 0916-276-1980 if you want to contact me.
Again,
Or
can you
my
repeat it
Facebook.
slowly, please?
Yes. 0916-276-1980.
All right.
And yes, so there
How
you can
can they
also.
email you also?
Yes, you can email me. It's still my personal email that I'm using because I don't wanna use a lot of email addresses. This is my email way back. Maybe we can post it. I can send you
Yes,
the
yes,
details.
sure.
Yes,
Please,
there
please
I
do so.
can.
I'll add
I
it
would.
in the link below.
I wish I could make like a card like that.
No
Like
problem.
that.
Jen was saying, imagine yourself. This is what I want to add from what Jen said. Imagine yourself not regretting that you did not do something when you were
Yeah.
younger. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that would summarize everything. Imagine yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You will not have to regret. Why didn't I save? Why didn't I do that? You cannot
Yes.
go back. You cannot bring back time. So until
Mm-hmm.
now that we have the time for ourselves, for our future, God willing, let's do something about it. If you're preparing for things that you definitely not need, prioritize number one, my me time. When I'm 60, I want this. I want to
Yeah.
have a comfortable life. So think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Time will come, your kids will have their own family, so who will be left behind? Us. So we don't want them to be a burden for us, or we don't want us to be a burden to them. So let's start saving. Let's start being thrifty. Let's not regret our future. So thank you so much for joining us, and I would like to say thank you, Jen, for sharing your time with me and for educating
Yeah.
our
Thank you.
members. And please comment below if you have any additional comments or questions. Please feel
Yes.
free to do that, and we will be glad to answer it for you. Okay. So
Yeah.
again,
I'll follow the thread.
surely, if you're not a member yet of the community, please check our Facebook group. It's the Philippine Home-based Virtual Assistants community, where we help a lot of people who are trying to find ways how to become a home-based professional. Not only that, for that we're offering this kind of information, a lot of things that we think that will be beneficial for our members. We think about that. So thank you so much, Jen, and
Thank you.
I look forward to
Thank you,
working with
everyone.
you for until 60 years old.
Yes,
God
I
willing,
think
who
I
would
will
know,
understand.
right?
This is work. This is work.
Yes.
This
It's
is
our
work.
career, it's our career. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day, night, whatever time it is in your time zone. Have a wonderful week, guys. Thank you so much and see you on our next video. Thank you. Bye.